Aaron Shover and Josh Lucas from Sword Carolina, and we have a live studio audience with us today. So
Yeah.
We just wanted to do a short video on the lesson that we did today as the air conditioning kicks in. We were doing Durchwechseln with the Krumphau today, and researching this, I looked on YouTube. There's really not a lot or hardly anything on YouTube showing this technique, so we thought we would try to fill in the gap. This is obviously our interpretation of it, so I am open to other opinions and I welcome some positive feedback. If it's like non-positive feedback, I'll just assume that you're being sarcastic and laugh at you right back. So, but yeah, let's go. You want to introduce yourself, Josh? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're doing today is Durchwechseln with the Krumphau, so it's cutting short with the crimp to get onto the other side of his sword. Obviously, when we normally do the Krumphau, and I know there's different interpretations of this, we crimp with the long edge when it's coming from your strong side, with crossed hands across your body. So what I normally do with the Krumphau, Josh is coming with an overhouse, I step to the side and crimp either against his sword or against his hands. So you come here, and you come against his hands, or I might step to the side, find on his sword, and then attack from there. Another option I have, if Josh is attacking with an overhouse, is to actually crimp short, and so you get underneath the sword and to set up the Durchwechseln. So what I'm doing here is because normally when we crimp, I take a deep step to my right, but if I'm trying to get to the other side of the sword, that puts me at a disadvantage where now I'm going to have to step one side and then I'm going to have to step my back to the other side. So what we did, we just did the crimp without a step, just to get closer to my thread, what my end position to be, and then finish with the lining. So from here, Josh cuts an overhouse. I do a Krumphau underneath just to do, just for the block here, basically cutting over into the shrink boot. From here, a lot of times what you see is people will cut off like a shotgun, type attack, or do something there. But another option that we did today was I'm going to line over and with a thrust, and either thrust into his face or to his chest. So once again, I'm over here and patch him on the strong of my sword. I'm going to wind him over. That way, if he keeps putting pressure on, he's going to get caught on my crossguard here, and I'm going to thrust either to his face or probably toward his lower opening. So let's switch roles so they can see it from the other side as well. So I'm going to do an overhouse to Josh. He cuts a crimp underneath my sword, and then he is strong in the binder. He can push me where he needs me to go to set up the thrust. And he can also step a bit to the left. My sword out a bit to the left, or to his left, my right. He can step to set up the thrust. If I'm attacking more vertically, he probably doesn't even have to do the step. He's already in position right there. He can just come forward and set up the thrust. The other version of the Durchwechseln would be if someone's standing in the ox cart. So Josh is standing in left ox, and it says in the text, in Von Danzig, I believe, it may have been Ringeck I used today. I think it was the Von Danzig, let's see the Von Danzig manuscript. It says you're feinting binding on the sword with a Krumphau, like this, or however you end up doing it. So I'm feinting that, but what I do is I crimp short to get underneath the sword and then thrust into long point. So I'm getting underneath the sword, I'm bringing my sword up high enough so that my killing is protecting me here to thrust in the long point. It says in the manuscript that he probably will be able to set this aside. So he's expecting me to bind. I'm catching him off guard here, but then once he defends here, I'm free to do any other work, any other attack from that point. So one more time. He binds there. Depending on what he does to defend against the thrust, now we're just into that, striking cuts of that. I'm in the long point, whatever he does, I can react with an appropriate cut. So let's do it from the other side. So I'm hanging out your ox. He fakes the bind on the sword and ends up getting all the way into like long point. It really extends to get. He comes in here. If I set that aside, I'm I'm going to have to be much more defensive. And then it opens back up one more time. And then depending on what I do, he's going to vary his attack. So, anything else I forgot to cover?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So that's what we were working on. Once again, I welcome your feedback and any comments. So thanks for watching. You guys rock, and it's coming at me from Sword Carolina. Ooh.